into A. We're A28. Yeah, I think we're this way. It is 4:05 in the morning right now. We're just about to head to the airport. We're actually in a hotel in Abu Dhabi that's just across from the airport. Man, do I have a story to tell you guys. Kat, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing amazing. So I want to get in the house because I want to survive. Yes.
Wait a second. Diogo?
Yeah,
Is that
I
Diogo?
just decided to grow my hair out
What?
and shave my beard.
Wait, we got Ruben. We got me. Who's Kat?
I'm Diogo's sister.
Hey! Big surprise, guys. We got Kat joining us, Diogo's sister, and she's gonna finish off the rest of the journey with us, well, at least to Russia. She doesn't have a permit for Russia. That's a long story. We'll probably fill you in on that, not this morning. Ooh, big day. We are getting going, guys. Oh man, we have a huge itinerary today. We're gonna tell you all about it. So Ruben, we need to get in the air by 5:15 today. What's your stress level like right now?
4:30. I have 45 minutes of stress. Hopefully it's gonna be on time. And it's a tight day, so we need all the minutes there.
So we've got how many miles to do today?
1,032, I think.
And we're trying to get from Abu Dhabi to where?
Ahmedabad, I think it's the name. Ahmedabad,
In what country?
in India.
That's crazy. We're trying to go all the way to India today?
Let's see.
Let's see. It's a big day, a very, very big day. And we are 3 days behind schedule. Oh, as you guys all know, we've been waiting for Pakistan permit. We waited and waited and waited, and man, we have an amazing story. So this is the viz that we're dealing with this morning. It is, I wouldn't say it's great, but it's not horrible either. We've had sections that are better, sections that are worse. Just depends what the ground texture is like. Like right there, we got a bit of texture. And then when you got things like trees and stuff like that, that really helps when it just sort of flattens out. Not so great. There's the sun. Sun's coming up. That's pretty nice. That's the bright side. So we've got 33 minutes left right now to Fujairah. Let me back up here a little bit. I'm just going to tell this story throughout the day here in little increments. So we arrived 4 days ago. 3 days ago? No, we arrived 4 days ago in Dubai. So it was a Monday when we arrived. And back 2 weeks prior, we had been told that we're going to get our Pakistan clearance on July 1st. We arrived on July 2nd. We were supposed to start flying on July 3rd. So that would be on Tuesday. And when we arrived, we still didn't have our permit. Two of the authorization people, the Navy and the military, had given their clearance. Intelligence had not yet. This is from what we understand anyways. And so the waiting game started. Now, let me just talk a little bit about the psychology. When you're sitting there waiting and you don't know what's coming, so we can look back now, hindsight is always 20/20. When you're sitting there waiting, you don't know if the clearance is going to come in 1 hour, 2 hours, a week, 2 weeks, you don't know. Waiting is really, really hard. So we were trying to keep ourselves busy, just doing things, and but we were waiting, and we kept talking to the handler in Pakistan, and he kept saying, yeah, we're gonna have news for you in 2 hours. So we'd wait 2 hours, nothing would come. We'd wait 3 hours. Finally, we'd get a text message. Yeah, we didn't hear anything. I'll tell you by 5 p.m. tonight. So you wait again, and 5 p.m. that night comes, nothing, no text. 6 p.m., 7 p.m., you get a text finally saying, yeah, no, still no word. We'll talk in the morning. So you wait till the morning. And so this ended up happening for 3 days. Now, a lot happened in those 3 days. Look at the amazing viz increase. I don't know. Yeah, you can see that mountain right there. We've actually got a bit of terrain coming up in front of us here. We're going to start seeing some mountains. And then we got these little, I don't know what you call them, little estates
Everybody's got their greenery and trees and
There's
animals.
animals there.
And, yep, pretty cool. And the beautiful mountains of Oman. We have just crossed over a little bit of airspace here, and now, oh look at this, they're like
Charlie Golf Echo Alpha Kilo for general approach, how do you read?
I read you 4 for Echo Alpha Kilo.
Charlie Golf Echo Alpha Kilo for general approach, expect to join special VFR. And runway news 11, the QNH 9er.
QNH 9er, and request, expecting special VFR for Echo Alpha Kilo.
Charlie Golf Echo Alpha Kilo, correction runway news will be runway 29er.
29er.
And you clear inbound and report entering the control zone.
I'll report entering the control zone and runway in use 29er. Alright, look at this. This is nice.
That's cool.
This is incredible. Those are the first clouds I think we've seen in like, I don't know, 2 weeks of flying or something like that. I mean, it feels like forever ago because we haven't been flying in so long, but there's actually clouds, you guys. Look at that. That's crazy. I don't know if I'm excited or sad because the viz isn't that great and there's clouds and mountains and all that good stuff. But hey, we like challenges. This is good. Alright, check it out. We are now up at 4,500 feet. Got some scattered cloud below us. Kind of a hazy day out there, but amazing. We got into Fujairah. Pretty touch and go there. It got really cloudy. Let me turn this down a little bit. Got really cloudy. We had to go out and around to the coast. We only had about 20 minutes of fuel left, and so it was very tight to know if we were going to, because it was special VFR to get into Fujairah. So that was interesting. Got in. We got turned around in 18 minutes, fired back up, and en route. That was an amazing, amazing turnaround. We're now en route to Pasni, Pakistan. So this is our first leg now over the water, going to Pakistan. Woo, super excited about that. So picking up the story where we left off, we were waiting for 3 days. And after about day 1.5, we started getting some feedback from the handler that things were looking very, well, they were basically telling us the fact that the military or the intelligence hasn't responded yet is a really bad sign. Basically for them, typically anyways, no response means a no. If they give you a response, then it's a yes. If they don't give you a response, then a lot of time in that culture it's a no. So we started getting fairly negative at that point about whether or not we were actually going to get the permit. And I know to you guys it sounds like such a small amount of time. Well, it was a day and a half, no big deal. When you're waiting and you're constantly waiting for that next text message, and you have communications going back and forth, and all of them are coming back negative, it really plays with your psychology. So we started looking if there was a possible alternate route. And so we figured out that if we went back across Saudi Arabia, up through Egypt, to Cyprus, Turkey, and then into Russia that way, basically we could go into like Sochi area in Russia, and then we'd have to cut all the way across sort of mid-Russia, all the way across over to Alaska. It was possible, but it meant a lot of backtracking, and it meant having to give up our world record that we were shooting for. So as I've said many times, we were trying to do antipodes across the equator, and so we would have had to give that whole record up because we weren't going to be able to do that anymore. So it was a massive turmoil for us, back and forth weighing the options. Is that something we want to do? Are we willing to give up that? And just shifting your mindset of all the places that you had flight planned or planned for like 2 years, to give that all up, and then to all of a sudden say, no, forget it, we're going to go a completely different route. That was very, very tough. And then there was lots of planning that went along with that. So we started into that planning. We started talking to Russia and talking about the route that we'd have to take for that, talking to our ops team at Gase. They were amazing, supporting us. It was incredible. Yeah, the guys at Gase can't say enough. They were working so hard trying to get information from the handler in Pakistan, but there was nothing they could do. They push, but at some point you just got to leave it up to the people in power. And so anyways, so they were working really hard to try and figure out a safe alternate route for us to get around. This is where the story gets super interesting. Ruben has this principle. It's called the power of nice, and it sounds super simple, but the power of nice is just an incredible, powerful tool. And so I just want to tell you a little bit about how this played a major role in our story. So, you know, when you meet people that every day you just kind of come in contact with, that you don't necessarily need to make much contact with. So this is the example. Ruben goes on a regular basis to Dubai. He had a business there, and so he goes there pretty much every 6 months. He spends time there, and pretty much every time he goes to the Intercontinental Hotel. He loves it there. And so the bell boys, or the bell men that are at the door, that basically do the concierge work, and they open and close the doors for you. Typically you just say hi and you walk in and mind your own business. Well, Ruben and Nancy have made a concerted effort, I would say, to connect with these guys. So they always ask them questions.
Independently of the status and rank of job.
Exactly. They always ask them questions. Where are you from? What city do you live in? Why are you
miss
here?
your family?
Do you miss your family?
Important things
How long have you been here? Are you planning to go back home? Just really important questions for these people, because this matters to them. This is their life, right? And so he connects with them on a personal level. So he makes friends, and when he comes back to these places, they remember him. Oh, Ruben, it's good to see you. And they, especially long handshake just to really greet him and say, like, oh, it's really good to see you again. And I noticed this when we first came to the Intercontinental, like, the friends. Ruben was like, oh, yeah, I know people here. And I'm like, yeah, sure. But no, they would remember. They'd come up to him and they'd remember him. So why does this totally fits in the story? You guys are thinking, oh, this is way off track. So we have been trying to connect with as many people as we can to try and figure out how can we make this Pakistan permit come through, because it seemed like nothing was working. And when we came to the hotel 4 days ago or whatever, Ruben was chatting with one of his friends, one of the bellmen at the door, and he was explaining the situation, telling him we're going around the world in a helicopter, and that we're struggling with this permit. Oh.
Copy, Kilo, go ahead.
1 second.
Copy surface condition, surface wind 13505 knot, 4 kilometer, cloud broken 3000, temperature C2, dew point 25, KH 1002 hectopascal.
Copy that, sir, and we are then inbound for landing.
All right.
Okay, he wants us to be informed. That's
exactly. Good. All right. So we informed him of the story, of what our situation was. And so this guy paid special attention to what the details were and what we needed. Now, without us knowing it, yesterday, there was a very, very, very high diplomat, or government diplomat from Pakistan that was staying at the Intercontinental Hotel. And this gentleman
is a frequent
he's a frequent guest. Yeah, so frequent guest at Intercontinental. So one of these doormen, the bellboys, he made contact with him. He knew him from the past, and he knew what his status was. And so he basically brought our project forward to him and said, listen, these guys are going around the world in a helicopter. They need some help. They're trying to get this permit. They can't get it. We don't know this is going on in the background, okay? So now, fast forward to us yesterday. So this is really hard to believe, but noon yesterday, we're sitting on the pool deck at the hotel, wondering what's going to go on. We've already completely made our mind up. In the morning at breakfast time, we completely made our minds up that we were no longer going to Pakistan. We pulled the plug on Pakistan. We had a little ceremony, not really, but we literally said, yeah, we're pulling the plug. And Pakistan was dead to us. And we were like, this is the hardest decision we've made on this entire trip, but we have to make the decision. We have to decide to go around. So we made the decision to go around, and so we were making all the preparation plans for that. 4 o'clock rolls around in the afternoon. We are checking out of the hotel, and we're on our way to Abu Dhabi. And so we're going to spend the night in Abu Dhabi. We're going to grab a hotel there. Then we're going to get the helicopter and start flying back around the long route around. And wow, this is cool. I'm going to show you guys that in a second.
Yeah, this coast is
amazing.
Really nice.
Shh, you can't tell them yet. Okay, I'm going to wrap the story up. This is getting super crazy. So we're checking out of the hotel, and we get a text message from our ops team saying, you're not going to believe this, but we just got your permit for Pakistan. And
everybody was not believing it.
It was, honestly, it was unbelievable. Okay, pause. Sorry, I have to show you this before it's gone. This is the coast of Pakistan, you guys. Who pictured this? Who knew that Pakistan had this incredible coastline, which there's some beaches down there, but we've seen up ahead, there are some incredible beaches here. This is unbelievable. Look at how incredible this is, you guys. We're in Pakistan.
Yes, we are.
This is Pakistan right here. That's
Yes,
the
got
land
it.
of Pakistan. There's the ocean. There's some beaches. I can't physically believe we're here, which is exciting for the story. So back to the story again. We get this message saying, you got it. I don't know how, I didn't believe it, but we got the permit to Pakistan. It took a while, like quite a while, for us to wrap our brain around this. There's a whole other story, which I'll tell you later, about how our Pakistan permit had to align. Well, this is crazy. Had to align with India, because we were going to India the next day, and our Indian permit was running out. Whoa, this is really cool. Wow, look at this train. Indian permit was running out. So it's Friday today. The Indian permit runs out today. So after today, we can't fly in India anymore. And so we tried to scramble a plan together to figure out what we were going to do. Anyways, as we were getting into the car at the hotel, the busboy comes up.
The bellboy.
Bellboy. The bellboy comes up to us.
A friend from Sri Lanka.
And yeah, Ruben's friend. And he's just so excited. And man, it burns me because I didn't film it. Afterwards, Ruben's like, you didn't film that, did you? And I go, I can't believe I missed it, because it would have been so amazing to show you how excited this guy was. He says, Ruben, listen, I need to tell you this. I talked to my friend, he explained the story, and he said, I don't know if it's going to help you or not, but I mentioned the story, and he said he's going to work on it. So we got to tell him, it was so exciting for us. We got to tell him, listen, like half an hour ago, we just got our permit for Pakistan. And he said, are you serious? I don't know if this guy even made a contact. And he looked back at his messages in his phone, and he said, yes. He said he was going to make a call, and he said he was going to see what he could do. I don't know for 100% sure that guy made a phone call and that made the difference.
I think it was.
But I honestly have this feeling that that's what made the difference. Now, again, we talk about stories like this all the time in our conferences, when we do our conferences all around the world. You don't know what connections you're going to make and how that's going to change your future, and how that's going to lead to things in the future. You just got to make a connection. You got to meet people. You got to make a connection, and somehow those people might affect your life in a positive way down the road. And certain things take time, and we've learned that on this. We've had so many learning things on this journey. Certain things take time, and when you're sitting in the middle of that time where you're waiting.
Alpha Kilo, report distance.
We are right now 15 miles west coastline. Echo Kilo.
15 miles west of Papa India.
That's correct, sir. Echo Kilo.
When you're in that waiting time, and I talk about this.
Runway 24 and 06 are available. Both runway available. No traffic in the second. Report your intention.
Well, copy then runway 24, and our intentions are to land and refuel, and then immediately leave with a flight plan to Karachi. Copy, Kilo.
Roger, copy, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I talk about this in my story all the time when I'm talking in these conferences, how it's easy to talk about, the beginning and the end and whatever, and say, yeah, life is good and whatever. It's that time in the middle, that time of waiting, that time of like super down times where you're trying to wrestle with what's going on and how you're going to go on, what the next step is. That's the really, really hard time. And so now I'm here, and I can show you guys the coast of Pakistan. There it is right there. And I could be excited, and I could say, man, it's amazing. And I could have skipped the whole story of the whole in between and say, hey, you know what? We arrived, we got our permit. Yay, life is so good. And now we're here in Pakistan. But it's that waiting time in the middle.
The core of the story.
It's the core of the story that is so crucial to everybody's lives. And when we tell this kind of story in our conferences to kids all around the world, teenagers and young adults and stuff like that, they ask us questions afterwards in our Q&A sessions, like, how do you deal with that time in the middle? How do you deal with the really low times, the hard times? And we have so many pieces of advice for them, but the main one is, you always got to keep going. You got to have a next step. You got to have a plan B and go with that plan B if plan A is not going to work. But you can't give up. It's when you give up that you're completely defeated. So, you know, a big journey like this, this video is going to be super long, sorry guys, but a big journey like this where you're going around the world and you have so many different challenges, it teaches you so many things. And if we were to give up when things got tough, or just ship the helicopter back home, you'd never accomplish an amazing journey like this. And I don't know, it's so incredible for me to now see the other side, and we knew that there was going to be some sort of result, some sort of an answer. And honestly, I think it was this friend of ours, and it was a massive opening of doors. I think, you know, we're Christians. We believe that God opens and closes doors when it's appropriate.
Right.
And I think in a situation like this, I don't know what you believe. I don't know if you're an atheist or you're a Christian, or I have no idea what your background is. But I think that God opens and closes doors when the time is appropriate, and you just have to trust that.
And to make you stronger.
And it makes you stronger, exactly, because the challenges in life are what build and mold your character, and so they make you stronger. So that's the story in a nutshell. It was way more complex than that. I'm not going to spend hours trying to explain every little detail of it, but we're here, we're in Pakistan. The plan is we're about to land in a town called Pazni, and it's a quick refuel. Then we're over to Karachi. Again, hopefully that's a quick refuel, and then our goal today is to get all the way to India, because our permit for India allows us in, but we're not going to be able to get out. So we're hoping to get into India. We've reapplied for our permits to be, for our dates to be moved. If India gets their act together really quickly, gets those dates moved, we're going to be able to continue on Sunday. I don't know if that's going to happen. We might be stuck in India for 4 or 5 days, but hey, we're going to at least be there. We're going to have accomplished another major chunk of our journey. Woo, it feels good. Let's see how the rest of this day continues.
So he asked me to change the squawk, right?
Wow. Wow. So this is the town, man. This is the town of Pazni, and we're back on the coast here again. That was such a crazy experience at the airport. So you hear all these things about Pakistan, and you know, you have all these preconceived notions, and they tell you don't film at the airport and everything. So I left my camera, I didn't touch it, and nicest people there, they all came up. The whole tower came down to see us. We had probably, what, 8 people there at least?
Yeah.
3 people fueling up, and oh, look at all these boats, man.
This makes a nice photo.
That's all fishing boats. And
Matthew, look at that.
oh, it's amazing. Anyways, they were so happy to see us. They were all Ronaldo fans, so they were all excited that Ruben was from Portugal, and of course Kat. And oh man, it was so good. So they start pulling out their phones. Oh, let's take pictures. Let's take some video. And so they were all excited. So Ruben was taking pictures with them and video and stuff.
Just
oh,
broke
man.
the ice.
Just totally broke the ice. Again, the power of nice.
Yes.
You should have seen how Ruben greeted these people to start with. Big smile, big warm handshake. Oh, so nice, so nice. Amazing what that can do. Woo, we are on our way again over to Karachi now. We are 2 hours and 11 minutes en route to Karachi. What a day, you guys, man. Spirits went from like way down here somewhere yesterday to way up here now. Super, super excited.
We have to avoid that circle or not?
Yeah, we're going to avoid the prohibited. No, we're going to go over top of it, but 3,000 feet. Yeah, 3,000. Man, oh man, look at this, you guys. Ha. So we are about 15 minutes away from Karachi right now. And again, here's the coast of Pakistan. Absolutely beautiful. They got all these really nice beaches here, and nobody on them. There's a little town right there. That's kind of cool.
Casa approaching Marvi for ILS 26 seconds.
Wow.
500 feet, quality field in sight, traffic.
Very nice. Still very hazy. We haven't lost this haze. We've been cruising at about 1,000 feet. Now they've asked us to go to 3,000 to avoid this prohibited area right here. So we're just going to go up and over top of that.
Where's that base?
2.5 miles away from the airport, so it's close. This is the city of Karachi, you guys. Amazing, wow.
Alpha Kilo, coasting in, fly heading 070.
Okay, 070 for Echo Alpha Kilo.
So this guy's vectoring us because there's lots of military bases around. So he's giving us heading vectors. So we got to fly 070 degrees, just about there.
Look at the number of shipping containers there.
Yeah, that's amazing, eh? I mean, that's like
There's a
typical.
lot of stuff that is made in Pakistan, but especially clothes.
Oh, really?
You look at
Typical to Vancouver, yeah.
Yeah, you look at the little label, you'll see
Yep.
a lot of made in Pakistan.
Really?
Yeah, it's a major producer.
Huh. There we
A
go.
lot of shirts are in there, T-shirts
Huh,
and
crazy.
shirts and Zara
Amazing.
stuff. Oh,
Zara?
they make it. Yeah, they make
Zara's
all the
made
big
here?
brands.
Really?
They make stuff
In
here.
Pakistan, eh?
Yeah.
You could probably get it for so cheap.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
probably. What is this here, you think? This big green space?
It's an abandoned. It's an abandoned 07070.
Yeah. An abandoned what?
Abandoned building.
Think so?
Look at that.
Oh,
there's
the big
building?
building? Maybe. No, that's being built right now. It's got a tower or a crane on it. No, this big green space here. This something that's being developed, maybe? Very interesting. Not much there, but... Wow, this is the city of Karachi. We were going to spend the night here. But now, hopefully, we're not. We'll see. You never know on these kind of trips. Never know what's going to happen. We may end up spending the night here after all. Very cool.
Wow. So the story gets more and more interesting every minute. So we were super excited landing in Karachi, and we found out probably 25 minutes after landing that our Indian visa, or Indian permit, had actually expired. We thought it was valid for the full day. Apparently it had a time on it that it was valid until, and so it actually expired. So we didn't get authorization to take off. The ATC would not give us clearance for takeoff because India was rejecting our flight plan, which is terrible because we filed the flight plan the day before and India accepted it. That's why we chose to even come. So they rejected it. We spent the next probably hour and a half trying to sort out any possible way to get out that day still, but we were fighting with daylight in India because we were already fairly tight for getting to India before the end of the day, before the sun set, and so that expired. So many complex things going on right now. We're only allowed as an in-transit passenger in Pakistan for 72 hours. So that expires at 2:30 on Monday afternoon. And so we have this weird situation where we are trying to wait for our India permit. We've already applied a couple days ago to get our permit renewed, and that process sometimes takes a few days, potentially even up to a week. They're trying to expedite it. We've talked to people in the Canadian Foreign Affairs and that are working in India to get that extended. They're doing everything they possibly can to make it work for us, but we don't know what's going to happen. We're on our way to the hotel right now in Pakistan, in Karachi. It's a complex situation, very, very complex, because we've been dealing with this for the last week, because we have these two permits that need to sync, Pakistan and India, and if we can't get them to sync, we're stuck. So we're trying to decide now if we can get a visa to stay in Pakistan longer, to extend an extra couple of days. If we can, then our chances are very high that the India permit's going to come in and then we can leave. Very complex, you guys, very intense. So again, emotions up, down, but there's different ways we can look at it. We've talked about this as a group, and we can look at this as a big challenge and a defeat, or we can look at it as a fun opportunity, something exciting and something that makes the trip more interesting, builds our character even more. So that's the way we're deciding to look at it. We're spending the weekend in Karachi, and we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna sign off this video for now because we have nothing really else too crazy that's gonna be going on. We're going to the hotel.
Yes.
The Marriott, oh by the way, the Marriott here in Karachi, they were amazing to sponsor our stay. Originally they had sponsored one night, which is what they're still gonna honor now, but we have to stay the whole weekend. So thank you so much to the Marriott in Karachi for sponsoring our stay, and that's really nice to have a great place to stay there. And yeah, so I'm gonna touch base with you guys when we know more. I'm probably not gonna do a video on Sunday. We'll see what happens. I will talk to you guys soon. Stay tuned. The story continues. The epic adventure. Lines on the road. Hello. How are you?
Hi, very good. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for having us. It's wonderful to be here. Thank you. All right. Look at this.
Right, guy, cut you that filming this?
Wow, that's nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. Group photo.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. You better take care of yourself.